The woman who has memorized the entire periodic table of elements and written a poem for each one of them.
Oh, no. All right, I'll share one with you then. If you have to be that way. Okay.
And of course, she has her own asteroid belt. And while she's vamping, well, I'm vamping while she's trying to find something here.
Something.
Let's see, what shall I do? Ah.
She's waiting for me. Okay.
Do a little Alan Sherman parody. Do not make a stingy sandwich, pile the cold cuts high. Customers should see salami coming through the rye. And now, the Janet Kuypers.
Hello there. Oh, aloha.
Hello, boys and girls. Sorry I'm running a little late and such. So I thought I'd try to mix things up with you and start with the periodic table poem. Just because you said it, I'm going to find something. Yes, I do have a book of the periodic table poems, and that's not this, but there are also things from shows in the past that appeared in cc&d issues as a cc&d collection book called On the Edge. It's just the name of it. There you go. On the Edge, and it has a bunch of things from over the years and from different shows as well as issues of cc&d. But one of the things that is in this book is a poem. I haven't read this, so I don't know how well I'm going to be at it. It's called Polonium. This is number 84 in the periodic table, if that matters to you. This is Polonium. On the Indonesian island Jawa, large turtle skeletons litter the plains. Because after the turtles came in from the ocean to lay their eggs, swarms of wild dogs there got together and pounced. These wild dogs flipped the turtles over and stripped them completely from their shells before they ate them alive. Because we have to remember that life is a constant avoidance of death, since later on, many of these wild dogs would be killed, who killed the turtles would be prey to the tigers, who had later pounced upon them. This is the cycle of life, because every birth is a prelude to death. Remember this. Don't forget. Keep in mind that elemental polonium changes in a nuclear reactor to form polonium-210 because the former Russian agent Alexander Litvinenko was the first man to actually be poisoned to death from a lethal polonium-210-induced acute radiation. So yes, because life is a prelude to and a constant avoidance of death, the polonium-210 poisoning marked the beginning of an era of nuclear terrorism. I know, this is only a part of polonium, and they found the polonium's electrical conductivity changes with its temperature, making it perfect for eliminating static electricity. And the beauty of it is of its short half-life, it means that as the decay generates heat, so it's a convenient and light source to generate thermoelectric power in space satellites and lunar stations. Because it's great for the space with no moving parts. It's actually required to power this, because that's all that polonium is. Yes, I know it's radioactive. Marie Curie discovered polonium, named for her homeland, Poland. She's even coined the phrase radioactivity while working. She even worked so diligently that on her own wedding day, she wore a black wedding dress, because she could then just wear the dress to work because she actually had work to do. Marie Curie wore a black dress on her wedding day. Maybe she knew that life is a constant avoidance of death. Life is just a prelude to death, because though polonium otherwise seems like a relatively harmless element, polonium-210 can still be used in just the right element for nuclear terrorism. With polonium, there's much to learn because when alloyed, it can be a portable neutron source. Polonium is even used in making photographic plates. Hey, I'm a photography person. I like that one. But then again, polonium is polonium's only component in cigarette smoke that's found in lab rats that actually produces cancer. Polonium was produced in World War II's Manhattan Project. It's even part of the design of the Fat Man bomb on Nagasaki. Yeah, polonium has many good qualities to us human, but keep in mind that life is still a constant avoidance of death. So despite the good that we find in polonium, this element can also be the instrument of death. Remember this. Don't forget.
Brings a base load of polonium.
But I have weird stuff in a thing because I'm a Chicago poet, and the year that I left, I had a lot of features, and so they were collected in this piece called A Year-Long Journey, which is why I'm walking with my suitcase on the front cover and I'm walking away with it on the back cover. But this is from one of the shows, which was from a piece that was all about destruction instructions. So this is one of these poems from Destruction Instructions. 101 Destruction Instructions. A man calls a woman. Every time a man calls a woman a fox, he tells her she is to be treated like an animal. Every time a man calls a woman a honey, he tells her she is meant to be consumed. Every time a man calls a woman a girl, he tells her she can't think like an adult. Anytime a man calls a woman anything less than a woman, he tells her who the boss is. So, yes, we all know who the boss is, boys. You've done such a good job of telling us. Because every time a man calls a woman makes a joke about rape or wife-beating, he issues a warning to women. And you've done such a good job of warning us. Because now it's time to take it all back after the way you've treated us for millennia. Do you think that we're just going to sit back and continue to take it? Do you think we don't know how to use our own voices? Do you think we don't know how to get the help from our friends? Or do you think that we don't know how to use our own bare hands? Or use the court system? Or even use a gun? Like we don't know how to use our bare hands. Because if you want to insult us again by saying we fight like a girl, then let me correct you. We fight like a woman. And we fight dirty. And I randomly picked up because I decided for the new year to write a poem every day. Exactly. And this is just one I just randomly picked out for you. And I'll tell you what it means at the end. This is called Xylograph. My story must be free. No one ever thinks of how I feel. Artists, philosophers, novelists, they all think nothing of me and use me until they destroy me. They pay no attention to me unless I can serve their selfish purposes. They give me no regard, and then they take a razor to me, peeling me away until they can use me to their own ends. After smearing me all over their pages, they even rub away parts of what I have left until what they have splattered is to their liking. They're taking my blood, what is deep inside of me, smearing it around into something altogether unholy. And all this time, I want to share my story with the world, but I cannot sculpt what is inside of me in a way that the rest of the world would ever understand. Like molten clay, my graphite soul would relay a lifetime of torture from those who only understand abusing me to only serve their own petty needs. Save me from this fate. Etch my words into engravings, letter by letter, and print them for the whole world to see, so they may finally understand what for millennia they have done to me. That was the poem about a pencil. You didn't away a pencil because other people are writing things. This is a poem about a pencil. So you were like, I don't know, that's a poem about a pencil.